Hey there everyone, Rothbox here, and we're back from MagicCon Chicago. It was an absolute blast. It was super cool to see everyone and meet all the different creators and everything. And I'm a little tired. I'm a little exhausted from it. It was super fun, but it is draining, especially because I did the entire event on crutches, which was difficult. So, for this week, we're doing something a little more low-key. We're going to do some nice timeless. So I found two decks, which I think are really interesting, a lot more off-meta, and I think we're going to try them out, see if they're any fun, see if how they work. We're going to take a look. Let's go to the breakdown, and we're going to start off with some nice Bant Boggles. Alright, so if you don't know, Boggles gets its name from Modern, where Slippery Boggle is a 1-mana 1/1 with hexproof. The idea is you take that bad boy, you put a billion different enchantments on him, your opponent cannot target him, can't remove him, and eventually wipe the floor with your opponent, beat him in with huge creatures. So, how are we doing that this time? Well, for nice part, we get Lurrus. We get to play all our cheap dudes, we get to keep buying back, so we're never really worried about losing any of our pieces, we can always get them back. Our Boggles, Social Admirer. This bad boy doesn't have hexproof, but War 2 is huge, especially because we're trying to put up a lot of aggression on our opponent very quickly. As far as actual hexproof, Cryptomancer can get hexproof at instant speed with Flash, which is nice. Of course, Spirit Dancer gets enormous and draws his cards, and Invisible Stalker's not only is it hexproof, it's also unblockable. So we're going to use these. The auras we're looking for, Staggering Insights, could be card draw. Curious Obsessions, card draw. Flying, big damage, we can recur even. Damage for every aura we have plus first strike, and this is the same thing. Damage for every aura and artifact we have. These are what's going to pump through huge damage. We're running Esper Sentinel also because it's a nice way just to draw a free card or two. Same thing, just card advantage. And I mean, if you suit this guy up, your opponent cannot usually pay the 1 extra, so you basically always get to draw cards whenever they play a non-creature spell. Still appears also because basically the biggest threat right now in the meta is Show and Tell. If we're able to cast a Spell Pierce on a Show and Tell on turn 3, that's going to be huge for us, and our opponent's going to be really slowed down, hopefully enough for us to get enough damage in. That being said, the deck's pretty simple. Mana base is not the most complicated, but also a nice part of this deck is it's fairly budget. So you have the mana base, you're running a lot of fetches and lands, but if you've already invested in your land base, this deck only runs 4 Esper Sentinels as rares. The other cards in this deck are all uncommon or common cards. Sorry, Lurrus, apologies, that's also a rare. But everything else is lower rarity than that. I lied again, Core Spirit Dancer. Okay, fine. There is 9 rares in this entire deck, though. No mythics. This is a really friendly budget deck. If you're trying to go timeless and you don't have all the wild cards, this deck is definitely achievable. With that being said, how good is it in the current metagame? How good is it against Show and Tell and Titanfield and all the big threats right now? Well, let's find out if we can start punching through real quick. This hand's okay. It's not amazing. We don't have a Boggle to start with. We do get to play Spirit Tester early and kind of go in with Obsession. That being said, we don't have any way to protect anything. On the play, though, I think this is pretty good going first, because we do get to drop Esper Sentinel really early on, and then at least get probably 2 cards out of Obsession and Esper Sentinel, but we'll see. If they try to cast a hand attack spell here, or a removal spell, we get to draw a card. So, I mean, this is just going to replace itself, basically, and I'm okay with that. They're a Giganta deck, so I wouldn't be surprised. Well, it can't be a Show and Tell deck, because Omniscience and all those are multiple colors. But, I mean, there's plenty of good Giganta decks, considering Giganta is basically free. You know, as they say,
it's free real estate.
Ooh, okay, so we're on Zoo. This is going to be interesting. Okay. I think if we're worried about Zoo, I could Obsession and play another Sentinel out. It's not terrible. Could play a Spirit Dancer. Let's play a Spirit Dancer and not worry too much about it and say go for now. We're gonna get hit for a little bit. They definitely have removal in this deck, which is, you know, scary. But I mean, this isn't the biggest deal in the world for us. Okay, so they have the Binding. They can't be the ones we get to draw a card here, which is nice. They're gonna get rid of the Spirit Dancer, I imagine. Sure, that's actually fine for us. No walks. See, now we get to play the Spirit Dancer, Obsession the Sentinel here, draw a card. Check for 2 here, draw a card. This is nice. Now we have Invisible Stalker. Yes, Invisible Stalker's gonna be huge in this matchup, because now we can play the Stalker and drop at least Ethereal Armor, another Esper Sentinel into play, which is pretty good here. Also, don't forget Lurrus is available at any time. Yeah, so they're gonna bolt that. They can't pay the 2. That's fine. Okay, so they have 1 man up. I think now we're going to do a setup turn, I think. I think it's probably a better idea here. I mean, I could just go all in. The problem is right now they have 5 colors, so they can just get rid of our thing. Yeah, we're going to set up... This is going to be a setup turn here. I'd rather not just eat shit for the sake of eating shit. Alright, so let's play the Invisible Stalker here. I'm going to crack this. Go get me... I need double white. So let's get me a Hallowed Fountain again. So this has to attack. Oh, I sacrificed the enchantment? How much do I care about that? Not a ton? Yeah, I think this is fine. I think we're just going to lose the enchantment, and I do not mind. So I think next turn I get to play all that glitters. They don't really have a good way to get rid of an Invisible Stalker here. And I don't mind chumming with the Esper Sentinels. Yeah, this is fine. They once again, big guy. That's fine. Take 3. Okay, Spell Pierce would be good. So let's put this on here. So they can't deal with this in any way. They can't remove our guy. We have Hexproof. We have... Oh, they could do that, though. That's true. That being said... Resolve... Resolve... now we're going to Spell Pierce their Stubborn Denial. Drop this. Drop a Sentinel's Eyes. Now our guy has Vigilance. I mean, yeah, I mean, they can still win here, don't get me wrong. We have Chump Blocks for both their guys. Yep, that's it. Invisible Stalker, Zoo cannot deal with. They don't have a way to make a sacrifice it, so that's a win. And that's the power of Boggles, baby. Look, if they're going to keep giving me hands of Esper Sentinel and the Stalker, I'm going to keep hands of Esper Sentinel and the Stalker. We're going second, though, which is way worse here. That is for sure. A looting deck, so they're probably on Phoenix. Phoenix is good against us. Yeah, already Phoenix into 1. That's not ideal for us, for sure. We have to get a Groove Spoon onto our Stalker. Then we're okay, or stuff like that. Or Lifelink. We can get Lifelink, we can race them okay, but it's a matter of... Stalker's going to be huge in this matchup, I think. They're probably going to have a removal spell here and pay the extra 1, which is fine. Or are they paying the 1? Yes. Okay, this is perfect for us. No, this is perfect for us. I so would rather them do that. Because now we just get to kind of, like... They're kind of, like, the counter spells are down. They cannot remove this now. And now I get to just kind of dump all of these enchantments onto this. And 3 mana, I get to put Curious Obsession and all the glitters on it. And they're going to start taking a ton of damage. Yeah. We're in a great position here. I don't believe they have a way... They can mount... some of the auras and things. Okay, so Mishra's Bauble, sure. They have lands and another spell. They do, it's not bad. They get... No, they don't. Okay. Sure. We're for sure paying 2 life. Yep, I mean, I could put the Aerial Armor next turn, but let's just do this for now. I'm gonna put Gerspoon also on it, so I could have more damage. I guess that's smarter. Yeah, oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Now we're good. Now we have Lifelink, and we're fine. So this deck is crazy. Unless you're set up to deal with it, you just don't have a good way to deal with it, and that's the reality of it. Like, unless you specifically have sacrifice effects...
Sucks to be you, nerd.
I mean, Stalker's tough to deal with. Even Toadstone Admirer. Like, if we got this out early, like, you don't get to do anything till turn 3 minimum to deal with it. And if I have Aura to make it big enough, it's tough to deal with. It is no Boggles, though. I'll give you that. Alright, so they're definitely going to have 3 spells here. Yes. Okay, so they're going to have at least 1 Phoenix, probably more than 1. I would guess at least 2. Yeah, so 2 Phoenixes. We're taking 6, which is not nothing. That being said, we're about to gain a shit ton of life. Yep. Yeah, they are extra mega fucky-wuckied here. And we're about to gain 11. Draw 2 cards.
Nice.
Yeah. Let's just play this, I guess, and say go. I mean, I don't think they have a way to deal with this, and I don't think they can do 21 damage in a turn. Especially at 5 mana. So, pretty sure this game's ours. All That Glitters and Ethereal Armor both legal. Staggering Insight is also just, what a good card. This card from Theros Beyond Death was like an archetype in itself in that set, and it was one of the better archetypes. Card's crazy. Yup. Phoenix is fast. I'm faster. This hand is a no-go. We don't have anything to put stuff on. This hand's fine. I do not love it. So the awkward part here is we can't go for blue and green, so I wonder if that's worth keeping. Spell Pierce is possibly important. I think I'm gonna keep this hand. I think we have a lot more ways to get blue in this deck, so I don't think I'm particularly scared. And if we draw a way to get this, I can use this to crack for Temple Garden fine. If I really think I need to get Spell Pierce up, I can. Because Core Spirit Dancer I can also play. I'd rather Blade Spirit Dancer on 2, quite frankly. Okay, perfect. That's great. Alright, so I'm going to attack here. And I think I'm going to drop Spirit Dancers. I think is the plan. I think Spirit Dancer's probably going to eat removal. But I think that's okay. If they don't... I mean, Spirit Dancer will be pretty good here. It's going to get pretty big with the Audacity. I'm going to draw a card off of it, and then Spell Pierce will let me protect it, most likely. Another probably Zoo deck. Could not be, though. Triumph is the sign of whatever. They're not running Gigantha, so it could not be Zoo. Okay, not doing anything. Ooh, okay. Crack this. Maybe a Hallowed Fountain. Okay. I'm gonna go to combat. I don't think they're gonna use removal. If they have removal spell, I don't think they're gonna use it here. Yeah. Okay, so they could counter this. How much do I care? A lot? Not do anything by the looks of it. Do I think they have counter magic up? Probably. I would really like to cast North Spell, draw a card. I could cast Audacity first, make them respond. This is a tough one, actually. I could put Luris in hand. I think I'm just gonna try jam it here. Because I have access to Luris, I think I'm gonna try to jam it. Okay. I mean, they could still have board wipes. Don't get me wrong, Boggles loses to board wipes as well. But this is going to draw me a card here. And then if this ever goes in the graveyard now, I draw another card. And then I'll... Yeah, okay, so... Sure, you can target... Okay, sure, you can target her. I could not draw a card here and not let it die. Interesting. Well, I don't want that extra card right now. I think that's fine. I don't honestly mind. Yeah, you can't target Stalker, so that's fine. Or yeah, sure. And I gotta put Ethereal Armor on it and keep Spell Pierce up. This is fine. Yeah, we're okay. But Masters is good here. I don't know if it's. I do think it's worth just getting rid of that. Yeah, we're gonna take 3 here. Sure. Okay, Ping Sentinel, which is annoying. Alright, what if I just suit up this dude? Yeah, that's fine. So let's go ahead now and I'm gonna Spell Pierce the counter spell. Because this way, I mean, yeah, we're gonna lose Sentinels here. That's fine and annoying. But this is gonna make this guy large. And right now, I'm very okay with keyword big. Because we're going to take 4 right now in response. That's fine. Curious Session will be known because it'll grow their guy. So Bowmasters is very good right now against Esper Sentinel and this kind of meta, so it's definitely not the best. Oh yeah, see, this is the problem. So that's the card right now that I'm scared of, and that card is going to kill me. And of course this gets bigger too when I do that, which is definitely not ideal here. Yeah. Okay. We're in a rough spot now for sure. They're probably gonna have... Yeah, I'm gonna get this one to them. That's fine. Yep, Sheoldred's Edict is the death knell for this deck. That's the problem. So, it's only so much you can really do. Bowmasters and Sheoldred's Edict is basically the hard counter to this deck. So, like I said, this deck is decent, but it's definitely not 100% there. Ooh, this hand's bad. Okay. This hand's... fine. I don't love hands like this. I don't know if going to 5 is better here. Going to 5 probably would be better. But I think this is okay. Going first, I think I would keep this hand. Let's put the Strand back for now. There's definitely ways I can remove this, but at least theoretically I'm drawing a card if they're removing this. Same thing as usual. They're not removing it, which is good for me. Alright, so I think I'm gonna go somewhat all in. I'd like to draw cards. This will let me draw a card when I hit. If they can't remove anything to remove it, but also now if it goes to the graveyard. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's fine. May not be the smartest play I've ever made, but I mean, I think sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I think this hand's not getting any better. That's cool, sure. I probably just play another Esper Sentinel next turn. We'll see. I mean, they're looking for removal here. I'm assuming. The other option is I could just put Laris into hand. I don't know. No, they didn't remove it. Okay. Let's go to combat. Cool. Love to draw a card. Once again, still not exactly what I want to be doing here. So what if I suit up this one now? This feels really bold, but I mean, I kind of just... Over they don't get a kill, I'm going to buff. I'm drawing 2 cards, basically. They try to kill anything. I can play Laris and get back a Sentinel next turn. I mean, this seems not bad for me. Like I said, anything they kill, I'm drawing cards off of. I'm going to play tapped? Oh.
Oh, honey.
Do I just get lethal here? I'm going to try to put it on this one. Cool, dude. Jeez, okay. Sometimes it pays off. Sometimes being aggressive pays off. This hand seems excellent. We're gonna keep it. Turn 1, Toadstool. Turn 2, probably Staggering Insight, honestly. If they Thoughtseize here, then I'm probably going into Spear Dance would be my guess. DRC. That's fine. Just gonna have remove for Spirit Dancer, probably. Yeah, I think I just kind of need to go aggressive here. Spell Piercer is gonna be big. Spell Piercer is gonna be very big. Oh, there's just the burn deck? I mean, this is good here. But I got the lifelink now, and that's gonna really fuck him up, and that's great for me. Yeah, this is fine. They can't bolt my dude, which means I'm gonna have once again gonna have the lifelink. They're triggering a lot of stuff here. I'm making 4? Yeah, that's not gonna be enough. I mean, if I'm genuinely able to race this thing. Because now they get 4 lifelink, and they just put a lot of spells to do that. And there's a land I wanted, so that's huge. Let's pay 2 life and play a Sentinel here. And now I can still get Spell Pierce up. And now if they cast a spell, but you both get to counter it, but also... I'm drawing a card. Resolves. Resolve. And I don't want to deal with that, so I won't. I don't mind taking 5 here. This is not a big deal to me. I got all that glitters. Yeah, this is fine. Once again, this... Okay, so we're taking 6. That's fine. We're still not dead here. And all that glitters is going to be huge. And now I can just throw this under the bus and save 3 life? Yeah. Cool. I'd like to gain 8, please. Yeah! Toadstool Admirer, boggling since day 1. Let's go. Yeah, wrecked burn. I mean, to be fair, we had the, 2 of lifelink enchantment, but I'll take it. Alright, Bant Boggles. So what can be said about this deck? First off, this deck is pretty cool. This deck is very powerful. It has a lot of draw kind of power going on for it, and it's very powerful, especially stuff like Invisible Stalker. It's really hard to deal with. This card's really difficult to block, and honestly, I might bump that up to a 4 of, just because of how annoying that card is to deal with for so many decks. I think this card is pretty good against a lot of the big, kind of good decks right now. Zoo, Burn, like this deck has a good matchup against those for the most part. You can get your Stalkers or stuff that's difficult for them to remove up like big enough. You start being able to block their threats, and it's not that scary. I mean, Stalker plus Staggering Insight is basically impossible to deal with. The only thing I might even just change is Cyber Cryptomancer here, which is okay, but not amazing. Most of your stuff already either has Hexproof or you're not super worried about it. But I think that Staggering Insight was an all-star in some of these games, just gained so much life that we could win any race we were up against. I do think this deck is going to struggle really hard against combo decks. The self-mill deck that kind of just puts a billion things on the board and burns you out with the Creeping Chill. I think that's what it's called. I mean, we didn't see any show and tells, which is great because that deck just beats us. I don't know how we beat a show and tell deck. I genuinely don't. And also the fact that this deck really struggles against hand attack is pretty rough, because if you take like our one aura, or like, the only aura we have to pump stuff up, we're not in a great spot. We have a lot of card draw, but unless we get set up, it's not amazing. And same thing with sacrifice effects. If opponents have Liliana the Veil or Shield's Edict, which is a great card on its own, people are playing it anyway. That card's incredible. And the fact that Bowmasters is hard against our deck. We draw a lot of extra free cards, which means Bowmaster triggers a lot, and unless we have Staggering Insight, we're not racing that. I mean, they can't target our Stalker, but they can target our Esper Sentinels and our core Spirit Dancers, and it's difficult. So, that being said, I think this deck is really cool, especially for a budget list. This deck slaps. This deck is really fun and really powerful, and I definitely think it deserves a consideration if you want to get into Timeless but don't want to spend all your gems or wild cards or whatever. Check this deck out. It's definitely a good deck that can win games, can just play against, top tier decks. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I will see you all next time. In the meantime, peace.